Having good pre-purchase email flows will quite literally double your email revenue. And I'm not exaggerating. If you do not have good pre-purchase email flows, you are leaving a lot on the table. And when I say good, I'm talking like pretty high standards here. It's not enough just to have one email in each flow or to have most of the flows set up and have one missing, because they all play very key components in the pre-purchase funnel. It's like a lot of brands think of these independently. Like, I have my welcome flow, I have my abandoned cart flow, I have my browse abandonment flow, whatever it is. Like, but I'm missing the active on site, or I'm missing the abandoned cart. And it's like, you need to have all of them, because they're all going to play such vital parts in the customer journey before they purchase. And even for returning purchases, like those flows pre-purchase aren't just for people who have not purchased before. The only one that non-purchasers are going to get is the welcome flow. Everything else is all going to be part of the place to order funnel. It's all going to be part of taking people from not purchasing to purchasing. Let's look at this little diagram here to see exactly why it works and exactly why I'm saying it's going to double your revenue. And a lot of it's going to do because of the way it integrates with your email campaigns. So if you send an email campaign, which most brands do, what we find is a lot of brands are sending campaigns, but they have very subpar flows, which is just affecting the results of their campaigns, and it's affecting their overall results. So they send an email campaign. You'll then have all your recipients here. Some of them will head to the site. Some of them will browse products. Some of them will add to cart. Some of them will begin checkout. Now, if you have flows at each one of these steps, you have detailed flows like an active on-site flow, a browse abandonment flow, an added to cart flow, and an added to checkout flow or begin checkout flow. You are going to make more revenue. It's as simple as that, because you're going to be sending personalized touch points that are relevant to that customer that at that exact point in their journey, right? But where a lot of people also go wrong is they think each of these flows has to take people straight to a purchase. So if they head to site, the active on site flow needs to take people straight to a purchase. If they browse products, the browse abandonment flow is to take them straight to a purchase. If they add to cart, we just need to recoup that sale. But realistically, if each flow is just taking people to the next step, you are also doing the job and you are also taking people further down the funnel. So that's why these are so important, because they don't just work in isolation of each other. They literally build you a 24/7 ecosystem that is designed to take people from not purchasing to purchasing. And if you're sending campaigns and people are taking action on your website, they need to be getting enrolled in flows. Otherwise, you're just going to be saying a prayer. You're literally just going to be saying a prayer. You send an email campaign. Say you have no flows. Everyone takes one of these actions. Do you have all your pre-purchase flows set up? Nope. Well, you might as well just say a prayer, because you have no idea what they're going to do next, and you're relying on people to take themselves to purchase. Whereas if you have all these flows set up, you're nurturing people to the flow. You're directing people to exactly where you want them to go in that stage of their customer journey. So you have your welcome flow. That's one thing, but that's separate. Like that's going to be vital to have, because that's all new subscribers that have not purchased. So you're going to want to have that, because you want to introduce people to your brand, obviously. But once someone is on your email list, they can take specific action on your site, right? They might head to your site, browse, and check out. So you need an active on site flow. You need a browse abandonment flow. I can't spell today. Abandonment. You need an added to cart flow. You need an abandoned checkout flow. And the goal of these is to take people to the end goal of purchase. And all of these are going to work together, because if someone is active on your site and they get the active on site flow, it might not take them straight to a sale, but it might make them view some products. And then they're in the browse abandonment flow. Now that might not take them to sale, but that might make them add something to their cart. You've done enough to get it to their cart. But then they get to cart and they don't purchase. What do you do now? Obviously, you have a good abandoned cart flow set up. Now that might not even take people to purchase, but that just might take them to checkout. And then maybe they balk at the shipping prices. They're like, oh, I've got to pay shipping. I didn't realize that. And they disappear. Well, now they're in your abandoned checkout flow. Because you have all of these flows set up, you're handling objections at each step of the customer journey. So once they receive an email campaign and they take action on your website, they're getting the active on site flow, which is taking them to browse products. And then that flow takes them to add to cart. And then that flow takes them to begin checkout. And because you do have all your pre-purchase flows set up, you're going to take that person to a purchase, or you're going to be a lot more likely to take that person to a purchase, right? So how do you set these up? Let's go over some rules. You want 3 to 4 emails at least per flow. So in each of these, you want 3 to 4 emails. Maybe on active on site and browse abandonment, you can have a few less. You want to set trigger so that it doesn't keep sending if they take the next step. Doesn't keep sending if they move down the flow. And you want to mix in text only and designed emails. And you want to handle objections. And you don't want to be too pushy. So the goal here is 3 to 4 emails at least per flow, especially on the cart and the checkout ones. And in welcome flow, you want it to be like 6, maybe even 7. You want the trigger to be, so someone viewed your site, but they didn't browse products. Because if they browse products, you only want them getting this. And then for browse abandonment, you want someone who browsed products but didn't add to cart or start checkout, because then you want them getting those ones. So you want your trigger to be so it doesn't keep sending if they're at a further step down the flow. This is like a little funnel. Think of this as like a little funnel. So someone's active on site, then they browse, then they add to cart, then they abandon checkout. Then you're going to mix in text only and designed emails so it feels a lot more personal at each step of these journeys. In each step, you want to handle relevant objections. So someone who abandons checkout is at a much different stage of the journey to someone who is active on the site. So active on site, you might just be trying to get people to browse products. But at the abandoned checkout flow, obviously they've already viewed the products. So you want to be talking about other objections they might have at checkout, usually to do with price or shipping. But active on site, maybe they're not sold on the product yet. Maybe they don't know it's the solution for their problem. Or browse abandonment. Active on site, they probably don't even know what products you have, or maybe they're not aware of all the products you have. So you want to educate on that. Browse abandonment, not enough to add to cart. Maybe they don't think it solves their problem. So you want to get a bit into the nitty gritty of that. If they add to cart and don't start checkout, a lot of the times there's a good chance they just forgot or they got busy. So, you want to follow up with reminders, and text only is a great way to do that without being pushy. And when I say don't want to be too pushy, remember, you don't want to go straight from the sale from each flow. Well, you don't necessarily need to go straight from the sale. Obviously, that's great, but you're just trying to get them to the next step of the journey. Browsing products, adding to cart, abandon checkout. You need to have all your pre-purchase flows in place. You will quite literally double your email revenue, especially if you're sending email campaigns. If you're sending email campaigns that are making people take action on your site and you do not have flows set up at each step of this journey, you are leaving money on the table. Simple as that. Hope this helps. Head down to the description under this video. There will be some links. I have some free products around different sorts of flows that you can use to put into your own business, or you can book a call and we can discuss handling all of this for you.